Good evening, dear listeners. Tonight we'll set aside deeper thoughts and wander into the warm, rustic world of medieval junk food. In an era far from today's fast food stalls, vending machines, or street carts, people still craved little treats to savor, and oh, what treats they were. Some brought comfort and sweetness, others were a bit unusual, but each one was a true taste of medieval life, woven into the fabric of their days, a thread of joy in a tapestry of hard work and simple pleasures. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's 4:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, May 28th, 2025, here. And I imagine you settling in as the day winds down. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from around the world, their quiet corners lit by the same stars, their homes filled with the soft glow of evening. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, the gentle whir blending with the night, and let's ease into tonight's journey together in a world where most snacks were simple, heartfelt, and carried the warmth of a flickering hearth. Picture yourself in a quiet village, the stars above, a soft breeze humming through the night, the distant sound of a cowbell fading into stillness, the rustle of leaves a tender lullaby, the faint glow of firelight spilling from a nearby window as we wander into this soothing tale. First we have apple fritters, little golden treasures that warmed medieval hands and hearts. These were the donuts of their day, crafted from tart, knobby apples perhaps plucked from a neighbour's orchard under moonlight, their skins kissed by the cool evening dew, still carrying the faint scent of earth and the memory of a summer past, the branches creaking softly in the breeze. The apples were folded into a batter of flour, eggs, and a touch of ale, brewed by the village alewife in her smoky nook, its soft fizz a whisper of the tavern in every bite, the yeast's aroma mingling with the air, the wooden spoon stirring with a gentle rhythm. Fried in warm oil over an open fire, the crackle of the flames blending with the night, the sizzle a soft heartbeat, the oil bubbling like tiny stars in a dark sky, they emerged crispy outside, tender within, like a hug from the kitchen, the golden crust glistening in the firelight. If you were lucky, a drizzle of golden honey harvested from nearby hives where bees danced in the sun, their hum a summer song, or a sprinkle of rare imported sugar carried on ships across stormy seas, made them feel like a quiet celebration, the sweetness lingering on your lips like a lullaby, the stickiness a gentle caress on your fingers. At markets or fairs, folks savoured them, the sweet aroma mingling with the scent of woodsmoke and the distant hum of a lute. Children's laughter soft in the background, the clatter of wooden stalls a distant rhythm, the cobblestones cool underfoot. As you imagine biting into one, the warmth spreading through you, the sticky residue on your fingers, a gentle reminder of simpler times. Let it carry you closer to sleep, the night folding around you, the moon's glow a soft guide. Next we find cheese curds, small morsels of dairy delight, fresh and simple, born in the early moments of cheese making. These were crafted with care from fresh milk, drawn at dawn when the cow's breath clouded the air, their bells clanging softly as they grazed. And a bit of rennet, a process as old as the hills, carried out in the dim light of a barn where the air smelled of hay and milk, the straw crunching underfoot, the wooden buckets creaking as they filled. They were lightly salted, sometimes soft as a cloud drifting across the sky, sometimes a little chewy, with a gentle squeak against your teeth, like a tiny song of the countryside carried on the wind, a melody only the quiet could hear, a whisper of the fields. Monks tucked them into their robes for a long day of prayer, their footsteps echoing in stone corridors, the sound muffled by thick walls, the scent of incense lingering. Travellers carried them in linen pouches on dusty roads, the fabric worn from the journey, its threads softened by time, the leather strap creaking, and children nibbled them with quiet joy, their small hands sticky with delight, their laughter a soft ripple in the air. You could crumble them over a steaming bowl of stew, the steam rising like a soft mist, curling around your face, the broth's warmth a comfort, or eat them by the handful, each bite grounding you in the moment, the faint tang of salt. A reminder of simpler times, the taste a bridge to the past, the dairy's richness a quiet anchor. Picture yourself by a crackling fire, a handful of curds in your palm, the world slowing down as you rest, your breathing soft and steady, the firelight dancing on the walls, casting shadows like gentle spirits, the logs shifting with a soft pop. Then there's turnip pie, a humble dessert born from resourcefulness and a longing for sweetness. In a time when sugar was a treasure for the wealthy, turnips stepped in, their earthy roots mashed soft with a touch of honey gathered from wildflowers swaying in the breeze. The bees hum a distant melody or a scattering of dried fruit, perhaps raisins saved from last harvest. Their wrinkled skins a testament to time, the faint scent of summer preserved within, the jar's lid creaking as it opened. This mixture was nestled in a sturdy crust, baked golden over a hearth, the scent of baking bread and root vegetables filling the home with a promise of comfort, the faint crackle of the oven a soothing rhythm, the warmth seeping into the stones, the dough's edges browning slowly. It wasn't fancy, but it was warm and filling, like a whispered lullaby in food form, the heat a gentle hand on your shoulder, the texture a soft embrace. At village gatherings or quiet monastery tables, families and monks shared slices, the faint sweetness blending with the murmur of shared stories and the flicker of candlelight, the sound of a distant owl hooting in the night, its call a soft echo, the wooden benches creaking under their weight. Imagine holding a warm piece, the crust crumbling softly in your hands, the texture a quiet comfort, the filling's earthiness grounding you as your eyelids grow heavy and the night wraps around you like a gentle embrace, the stars peeking through the window, their light a soft shimmer. The meat pasty was a traveller's friend, a handheld pie filled with seasoned meat, perhaps pork from a nearby farm, its fat glistening in the sun, the pigs rooting in the mud, mutton from the hills where sheep roamed free, their wool catching the morning light, the shepherd's whistle faint in the distance, or, whatever the day's hunt provided, the scent of the forest still clinging to it, a hint of pine and moss in the air. The meat was simmered with herbs like sage or pepper, their earthy aroma rising from the pot, the steam curling upward, the wooden spoon stirring slowly, then tucked into a golden crust, baked until it glowed like the setting sun, the edges crisp from the oven's heat, the scent of baking a warm invitation, the dough flecked with bits of char. It stayed warm in your hands, perfect for a chilly journey through misty fields, the fog curling around your feet, the grass damp with dew, or a quiet moment by the bustling market, the sound of merchants calling in the distance, their voices a soft hum, the clink of coins a gentle chime, the scent of spices in the air. The filling was rich, its flavours a comforting blend of earth and spice, carrying the warmth of home wherever you went, the grease a small comfort against the cold, the taste a memory of the hearth, the juices dripping slightly. As you ate, the world felt a little less vast, a little more kind, each bite a small anchor in a busy day, the crust flaking softly. Let the thought of that warmth settle into your bones, easing you toward dreams as the night deepens, the stars twinkling above, the moon a soft guide, its light a gentle path. For a tiny treat there were candied fennel seeds, delicate and sweet, like little stars of flavour scattered across a banquet table, their surfaces catching the glow of candlelight, a flicker of gold in the dark, the wax dripping slowly. Coated in a thin layer of sugar, painstakingly boiled and poured by hand, the kitchen filled with the scent of caramel and herbs, the pot bubbling gently, they offered a gentle licorice whisper, a soothing touch after a hearty meal of roasted meats and bread, the clatter of plates fading into silence, the air settling, the fire's glow a soft backdrop. Nobles passed them in delicate dishes, their faint shimmer a sign of wealth, the porcelain cool to the touch, its edges chipped from use, while others savoured simpler versions with honey gathered from a nearby apiary, a small luxury in a humble home, the jar's lid creaking as it opened, the honey's glow a small sun. Each bite was a small ritual, a moment to pause and breathe, the subtle flavour calming the mind, the crunch a soft echo in the quiet, a whisper of peace, the seed's texture a gentle dance. Imagine their faint crunch as you lie back, the night growing softer with every breath, the world fading into a peaceful haze, the scent of herbs lingering in the air, a gentle thread to follow, the banquet hall a distant memory. And then honey cakes, dense and sweet, made with golden honey from buzzing hives, tended by villagers who knew the bees by name, their hum a constant companion in the fields, a soft buzz under the summer sky, the wildflowers swaying in the breeze. These cakes were sturdy, sometimes spiced with a pinch of cinnamon, its warm scent rising from the batter, the spice ground by hand with a mortar and pestle, or dotted with dried fruit, perhaps cherries preserved from summer, their tartness a gentle surprise, the stones removed with care, the jar's seal popping softly. Perfect for festivals or quiet evenings by the hearth, where the fire's glow painted the room in soft oranges, the logs shifting with a quiet pop, the smoke curling upward. They weren't light or fluffy, but they were honest, carrying the taste of care and tradition. Each bite a reminder of harvests past, the sticky residue a mark of craftsmanship, the honey's glow a small sun in your hands, the texture a soft chew. At weddings or harvest feasts, they were shared with smiles, their sweetness binding people together in joy, the sound of laughter blending with the rustle of leaves outside, the wind a soft sigh, the wooden tables groaning under the feast's weight. Picture a slice in your hands, sticky and fragrant, the honey's warmth seeping into your skin as the world blurs into a gentle haze and your thoughts drift, the warmth lulling you deeper. The night a soft blanket, the fire's crackle, a gentle lullaby. We also have fried fish skin cracklings, a clever treat from coastal villages where the sea was a constant companion, its waves a rhythmic lullaby, the gulls crying overhead, their wings catching the wind. Fish skins, carefully saved after the day's catch, their scales glinting in the morning light, the nets still damp with seawater, the ropes creaking as they were hauled in, were crisped in hot oil over a fire, the sizzle blending with the cry of gulls, the smoke curling upward, the oil bubbling softly, becoming light and salty, like whispers of the ocean carried on the breeze, the scent of brine in the air, the sand crunching underfoot. They were simple, shared among friends at taverns, the wooden tables worn smooth by time, the salt stains a map of stories, the mugs clinking softly, or carried by sailors on long journeys, the salt air clinging to their clothes, the ropes creaking on the ship, the horizon endless. Their soft crunch was a reminder of resourcefulness, turning scraps into something special, a small gift from the sea, the taste lingering like a memory of the shore, the waves' rhythm in your ears, the salt a gentle tang. As you imagine their saltiness, let your thoughts drift like waves, carrying you to rest, the rhythm of the tide lulling you deeper, the sound of water in your mind, a gentle ebb and flow, the sea a soft embrace. For a heartier bite there was bread soaked in ale, a rustic treat that warmed the soul on cold nights, the frost painting patterns on the windows, the glass, cold to the touch, the ice a delicate lace. Stale bread, too tough to eat alone, its crust hardened from days past, the edges rough under your fingers, the loaf's weight a quiet promise, was softened in a bowl of ale. The kind brewed in small batches by the village alewife, its faint bitterness a comfort, the scent of yeast filling the room, the wooden spoon stirring slowly, the bubbles rising gently. The bread soaked up the ale, becoming tender and rich, a simple meal for those with little but ingenuity, the liquid seeping into every pore, the texture a soft surrender, the ale's warmth a quiet glow. Sometimes a sprinkle of herbs, plucked fresh from the garden, their leaves still damp with dew, the rosemary's scent sharp, or a sliver of cheese, aged in a cool cellar, its rind earthy, the wheel creaking as it was cut, was added, if the pantry allowed, making it a feast in its own right, the flavours melding in the warmth, the steam rising gently, the bowl's wood worn smooth. Shared by firelight, the crackle of logs a steady beat, the embers glowing red, the shadows dancing. It was a moment of peace, the world outside forgotten, the wind a soft whisper against the walls, the thatch rustling, the night a quiet companion. Picture yourself dipping the bread, the ale's warmth spreading through you as your mind quiets and sleep draws near. The fire's glow a gentle guide, the shadows swaying, the warmth a soft tide. For a touch of nobility, there were sops in wine, a delicate treat often savoured by those in grand halls, the tapestries swaying in the draught, the colours faded by time, the threads telling stories of battles past. Slices of bread, lightly toasted over an open flame, their edges golden, the scent of charred wood lingering, the fire's crackle a soft song, were soaked in mulled wine, fragrant with spices like clove and cinnamon, warmed over a fire until the bread was soft and rich, the steam rising in delicate curls, the aroma filling the room, the spices' warmth a gentle embrace. Served in a bowl, the porcelain cool to the touch, the edges chipped from use, the glaze catching the light, it was eaten slowly with a spoon, each bite a blend of sweetness and warmth, a gentle end to a long feast, the clink of goblets, a distant echo, the murmur of voices fading, the harp's notes lingering. Nobles savoured it during late-night gatherings, the glow of candlelight on their faces, the wax dripping slowly, the shadows long, while humbler folk made their own with simpler ale, the taste a quiet luxury, the jug's handle worn smooth, the pour a soft gurgle. Imagine the wine's warmth, the bread melting softly as you sink deeper into rest, the scent of spices wrapping around you, the night a soft cocoon, the hall a distant dream. Then there was dried fruit, a prized treat that carried the taste of summer through the long winter, the snow tapping softly at the windows, the silence broken only by the fire's crackle, the flakes a soft dance outside. Raisins, figs and dates dried under the sun or by a hearth, their skins wrinkled and dark, the texture a map of seasons past, the drying racks creaking in the sun, were chewy and sweet, their concentrated sugars a burst of joy, the taste a memory of orchards in bloom, the petals falling like snow. They were saved for special days, holidays, weddings, or a quiet moment of indulgence, each piece savoured slowly, the sweetness a reminder of brighter days, the orchard's bloom a distant song, the fruit's weight a comfort in your hand, the scent of summer faint but present. Nobles might pair them with wine, the glass catching the firelight, its rim cool against their lips, the liquid a deep ruby, while children hid them in their pockets, a secret treasure, their small hands warm against the cold, the fabric rustling, their giggles a soft echo. Picture yourself holding a fig, its texture grounding you, the faint sweetness on your tongue, as the night wraps you in its embrace, the silence deepening, the stars a soft glow, the snow a gentle blanket. For the bold, there were blood pudding balls, a hearty snack that used every part of the animal. The butcher's hands steady at work, the cleaver's thud a rhythmic beat, the wooden block scarred from years of use. Fresh blood, often from a pig, its warmth still present, the metallic scent faint in the air, the bucket creaking as it filled, was mixed with oats, onions, and herbs like thyme, plucked from the garden, their leaves still damp with morning dew, the scent sharp in the air, then shaped into small spheres and fried until crisp on the outside, tender within, the oil popping softly in the pan, the sound a gentle dance, the steam rising in wisps. They were rich and earthy, a taste of survival and resourcefulness, often eaten hot at markets or fairs, the scent of sizzling fat drawing a crowd, the chatter of voices a gentle hum, the mud squelching underfoot, the air cold against your cheeks. Each bite was filling, a small burst of warmth on a cold day, the flavour lingering like a memory of the feast, the grease a shield against the chill, the herbs a quiet lift. Imagine their savoury depth, the crunch giving way to softness as your thoughts slow and sleep beckons, the warmth settling in your chest, the night a quiet friend, the market's bustle fading. Next we savour medieval pancakes, thin and hearty, a treat born from necessity and care, the kitchen alive with the morning's promise, the rooster's crow a distant call. Made from a simple mix of flour, eggs, and water or ale, their batter poured onto a sizzling iron griddle coated in bubbling lard, the sizzle a soft song in the morning air, the smoke curling upward, the griddle's heat a steady warmth. They emerged flat and uneven, with crispy browned edges and a slightly chewy centre, the scent of baking filling the room, the flour dust settling like snow, the wooden spoon resting on the table. Sometimes a splash of ale added a gentle tang, the yeast's scent faint, or a spoonful of honey brought a touch of sweetness, the golden drizzle catching the light, the jar's lid creaking open, the honey's glow a small sun. Eaten hot, they were a quick meal for peasants and nobles alike, rolled up with cheese, its rind soft, the wheel creaking as it was cut or dipped in broth, the warmth a comfort against the chill, the steam a gentle veil, the bowl's wood worn smooth. Picture yourself breaking off a piece, the steam rising, the texture a soft embrace. As the day fades and your mind drifts into rest, the dawn's light a distant memory, the kitchen's warmth a quiet echo. Then there are wafers, thin and crisp, a treat that danced between dessert and ritual, the church bells tolling softly in the distance, their echo rolling across the hills. Made from flour, water, and a hint of egg, their batter poured onto hot metal wafer irons, the press leaving faint patterns of flowers or saints, the scent of baking a gentle waft in the air, the iron's heat a steady warmth, the press hissing softly. They were light as a sigh, the edges curling slightly, the patterns a quiet artistry. Sold outside churches or at village fairs, their fragility a challenge to carry, the paper wrappers crinkling, the vendor's call a soft chant. They were eaten quickly, the crunch a soft melody in the quiet, the crowd's murmur a background hum, the scent of incense lingering from the church. Nobles stacked them with fruit, the juice staining their fingers, the berries bright against the pale wafer, while others savoured them plain, the taste a simple joy, the texture a fleeting dance, the crumbs a soft scattering. Imagine their delicate snap, the crumbs falling softly as you sink into sleep, the night a gentle cradle, the bell's echo fading, the air still and calm. For a sweet indulgence there was sucket, candied fruit that gleamed like jewels, the kitchen a symphony of scents, the pot's handle warm to the touch. Oranges, dates, or ginger were boiled in syrup, the pot bubbling gently, the air filled with the scent of sugar and citrus, the steam rising in soft clouds, the wooden spoon stirring slowly, then drained and coated again, their surfaces glossy and vibrant, a labour of love, the syrup dripping slowly, the fruit's colours glowing like stained glass. Reserved for nobles or special occasions, they were chewy and intense, the sweetness a burst of luxury, the texture a gentle tug on the teeth, the peel's bitterness a quiet counterpoint, the ginger's heat a soft spark. Served on trays at banquets, they were a sign of wealth, the clink of porcelain a soft note, the silver spoons cool against the tongue, the candlelight flickering on the tray. Picture a piece in your hand, the sugar dissolving slowly, the flavour a warm tide as your thoughts melt into dreams, the night a soft veil, the banquet's glow a distant shimmer. And for a new delight, spiced nut clusters, a treat of roasted hazelnuts or almonds, gathered from the forest's edge, their shells cracking underfoot, tossed with honey and a dash of nutmeg, their warmth spreading through the mix. The kitchen filled with the scent of spice and toasted nuts, the nuts' skins crackling as they cooled, the honey's glow a small fire. Baked until golden, the tray clinking as it was pulled from the oven, the parchment crinkling beneath, they were sticky and rich, shared at gatherings, the crunch a soft harmony, the nutmeg's warmth a gentle lift, the honey's sweetness a quiet comfort. Imagine their warmth, the spice lingering on your tongue. As you drift deeper, the taste a quiet companion, the gathering's laughter a soft echo. Next, roasted chestnuts, a winter's gift, gathered from the forest floor, their spiky husks pricking the hands, the leaves rustling underfoot, the air crisp with frost. Roasted over an open fire, the shells splitting with a soft pop, the scent of charred wood and nutty warmth filling the air. The fire's glow a soft dance. They were tender inside, the skin peeling away to reveal a creamy heart, the heat a comfort against the cold, the steam rising gently. Eaten by the hearth, their crunch a gentle rhythm, the shells piling up in a wooden bowl. They warmed the hands and soul, the scent a memory of winter's embrace. Picture their warmth, the shells crack as sleep nears, the fire's glow a gentle guide, the night a soft blanket. Then pickled vegetable bites, small jars of turnips or onions, steeped in vinegar and spices, the brine a tangy dance, the jars clinking softly as they were sealed. Preserved for winter, their crunch a sharp joy, the vinegar's sting a wakeful note. They were a tangy treat at markets, the vendor's hands red from the cold, the scent of vinegar sharp in the air. Shared among friends, the jars passed around. They brought a burst of flavour to a grey day, the spices a quiet warmth. Imagine their bite, the vinegar's sting, as you drift, the market's bustle a distant hum. Also, honey-glazed root crisps, thin slices of parsnip or carrot, dug from the earth, their dirt brushed away, coated in honey and baked, the oven's hum a steady beat, the slices curling slightly at the edges. Their sweetness balanced the earthiness, a crisp delight at feasts, the glaze sticky on the fingers, the honey's glow a small sun, the scent of roasting roots filling the hall. Picture their crunch, the honey's warmth, as night deepens, the feast's chatter fading. And then spiced oat cakes made with oats and cinnamon, baked on a stone, the scent a warm embrace, the oats ground by hand, the millstone creaking. Eaten with cheese, their texture a soft chew, the cinnamon a gentle lift. They were a traveller's friend, packed in cloth, the fabric worn from the road. Imagine their warmth, the oats' comfort, as you sleep, the journey a quiet memory. For a new treat, salted barley twists, dough made from barley flour, twisted into small ropes, sprinkled with coarse salt, and baked until golden. The oven's heat a steady warmth, the scent of grain filling the air. Eaten warm, their crunch a delight, they were a staple at fairs, the salt a sharp contrast to the bread's earthiness, the twists passed around in baskets. Picture their texture, the salt's bite as you drift, the fair's noise fading. Next, gingerbread nuggets, Small bites of dough spiced with ginger and cloves, sweetened with honey, baked until firm, the kitchen filled with the scent of spices, the dough's warmth a comfort. Eaten at festivals, their heat a gentle spark, they were a treat for children, their hands sticky, the crumbs falling softly. Imagine their spice, the honey's glow, as sleep nears, the festival's lights a distant glow. Then toasted seed brittle, made from pumpkin and sunflower seeds, toasted over a fire, the seeds popping softly, mixed with honey, and cooled into a brittle sheet, the crack a satisfying snap. Shared at harvest feasts, their crunch a joy, the seed's earthiness a grounding note, the honey's sweetness a quiet lift. Picture their snap, the seed's texture as you drift, the harvest's bounty a soft memory. Also, smoked fish morsels, small chunks of fish, smoked over oak, the smoke curling upward, the fish's flesh tender, sprinkled with salt, the scent of smoke and sea a quiet blend. Eaten by the fire, their smokiness a comfort, they were a coastal treat, the fish caught at dawn, the nets heavy with the day's haul. Imagine their flavour, the smoke's warmth as night deepens, the sea's rhythm a gentle lull. Finally, fruit-stuffed dumplings, small dough pockets filled with dried apples or berries, boiled until tender, the steam rising, the dough soft, the filling a burst of sweetness. Eaten with a drizzle of honey, their warmth a comfort, they were a winter treat, the pot's bubble a soft song. Picture their softness, the fruit's tang, as sleep takes you, the kitchen's warmth a quiet embrace. As you sink deeper into your pillow, picture yourself at a medieval market, a fritter in one hand, a honey cake in the other, the night soft and endless. These snacks were more than food. They were moments of joy, connection, and resilience in a quiet world. Sleep well, dear listener, and may your dreams be as warm as a freshly baked pasty and as sweet as a drizzle of honey. Good night.